guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Paige and this is my open book. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you some Pride Month, queer, LGBTQ plus romance recommendations. So grab a drink and grab a snack and let's get into it. Now, I know Pride Month is technically over, but in my opinion, you should be reading these books all year round and not only in the month of June. So we're still going to do this video. I'm still going to give you my recommendations so that you can be sure that you are inclusive with your reading. I tried to pick, I don't know why I'm touching my hair so much. I tried to pick a good variety of different representation here, so get ready for some good recommendations. We're just gonna try and go as fast as possible. First up is one of my favorites for bisexual representation. This is Truly Madly Deeply by Alexandria Bellafleur. This one has a romance author. Yes, that's right. She's a romance author and he's a divorce lawyer, okay? And she just found her ex cheating on her. Her parents are going through a separation. So like everything she knows about romance and love has just gone out the window. She doesn't know what to believe anymore. And both of these main characters are bisexual, which I appreciate. And this also talks a lot about what it's like to be bisexual in a heterosexual relationship and what that's like. So I really enjoyed this book. This is one of my personal favorites as a bisexual, and you should definitely check it out. It hits 100%. Next up, we have Triple Sec by TJ Alexander. And this one not only has non-binary representation, but it also has like an open relationship, sapphic, kind of like pansexual representation too, I would say. So in this one, the female main character is a bartender. And that's actually more prominent in the book than I thought it would be. There's a lot about like her entering this competition to like make this new drink. Anyway, so I thought that was kind of cool because I never read a book like that before. But with that aside, the romance aspect is she actually gets approached by somebody at the bar, and it's someone that she is hitting on. She's interested in her, and she finds out that she is married, but she's in an open marriage. Yeah, I feel like this is a different twist on like an MFM or an MMF or whatever. Like I feel like it's different from a typical throuple situation, so I liked the uniqueness of this story a lot. Next up, we have trans representation. This is A Shot in the Dark by Victoria Lee. Now be sure to check your triggers for this because there is a lot of like religious trauma in here, as well as talk of addiction and rehab and things like that. So definitely some heavy topics, but I think Victoria Lee handles it really well. I love the trans representation in the male main character here, because I never read a romance where one of the love interests is the trans character. I've read other books that had trans characters in them, but not in the actual like main romance element. So I love that representation. I think you are gonna fall in love with these characters, and this is a great one. Next, I think, is one of people's favorite sapphic authors ever, Miss Ashley Herring Blake. I'm pretty sure all of her books are sapphic. I could be wrong, but this is the first one in this particular series. This one is Delilah Green Doesn't Care. So this is Delilah Green. She doesn't care about anything. She's a typical like starving, broody artist type, you know, the lone wolf situation. And then you have Claire, who is a single mom. She's bisexual, whereas Delilah is lesbian. And they technically grew up together because Claire is Delilah's stepsister's best friend, and Delilah growing up was bullied a lot, and she definitely felt like the black sheep of the family, and she has to come back to the small town to photograph a wedding. Claire, I don't even think recognizes Delilah at first. She was definitely attracted to Delilah, didn't even realize that that's who it was, and Delilah definitely like messes with her on that. But yeah, honestly, these characters are just so beautiful in their own ways. I love the way Ashley Herring Blake writes sapphic romance. No one does it better than her. Then we have a more classic setup for an MFM situation, or an MMF, I guess you would say. This is Salt Kiss by Sierra Simone. This is her Lioness trilogy. And in this one, you have the female main character and the male main character who are in like a marriage of convenience. And the other male main character is supposed to be the security guard, and he gets involved with both of them separately. And there's so much drama. If you've ever read a Sierra Simone book, you know what to expect. But If you haven't, this takes you for a whirlwind, okay? So much happens. This story is so much deeper than just a, you know, erotic setup for a relationship. There's a lot of political and religious intrigue in here as well, which I think Sierra Simone is the queen of. So you can't go wrong with Sierra Simone, but this is definitely a showstopper. Another sapphic mention, we have Payback's a Witch. This is more so for like the cozy witchy girlies, okay? If you're into like the cozy witchy cottagecore, kind of gothic but not really, then this is the sapphic romance for you. This has actual witches in it, yes, and this gives more like chill rom-com vibes. It's not very smutty. Like there are a couple of like spicy scenes, but nothing crazy, and it's perfect for the fall. I love reading these books in the fall. It's a whole series too. I don't think every single one is homosexual or sapphic or gay. I don't know if she puts that in every single book in this series because there's a lot of them now, but I know this one is, and it's a star. Another MMF setup. I love a good throuple. I don't know what it is. This is Hollow by Karina Halley. This is for my dark romance girlies. This one is inspired by Sleepy Hollow. Very dark, lots of blood magic in here, but also that like gothic vibe from the original Sleepy Hollow story. So in this one you have two male main characters and a female main character. The female main character and the main character that you like first get introduced to. So the female main character is a witch. She's going to be a student at this new college, like academy, and the male main character is a professor there. And then there's also this other male main character that they both have history with separately, and then this is a duet. So in the second book is more about the three of them together and kind of like how their stories interconnect, which I found really fascinating. But this is great. I love this one. This is one of my favorite Karina Halley books ever. Then we have a gay romance. This is Nightmare Before Christmas by Sarah Raish. This one's great. You've got the Prince of Christmas and then you have a Prince of Halloween and it's their romance. This is so good. It says, get ready for the sexy, quirky rom-com where the golden-hearted Prince of Christmas falls for the totally off-limits Prince of Halloween. It's exactly what it sounds like. They're actually fighting for marriage to the same girl, but then they have their own attraction going on that they just can't ignore. So love this one. There's a little bit of like a magical realism element too, because it feels like it's in the modern world, but there's magic from the different holidays that they represent, which I found really fascinating. It gives Nightmare Before Christmas vibes, obviously. I mean, that's why she titled it this, okay? Then this is another poly romance that I love. This is Court of the Vampire Queen by Katie Robert. Katie Robert has such great representation in all of her books, so if you just want to pick like one author that you can binge, she is your person, okay? This one specifically has a female main character and 3 men. I'll show you the art in the back. Gorgeous. You see how long this is, right? I binged this in one day. It's like over 500 pages. So if that doesn't tell you that you need to pick this up, I don't know what will. Now I have more recommendations that I don't have physically. So let me find my list. I started using this trope journal from Bestie Book Reviews. They sell this on Amazon. And it's cool because it has like the different letters of the alphabet and you can put your own trope at the top, and then you can write all the books that you can recommend within that trope. So like I said, you can find this on Amazon from Bestie Book Reviews. They also always link it in their YouTube videos. I love it. I just started using it. Like I've got a list for age gap started, so be ready for that video coming soon. I also wrote one for like an artist main character because I realized I was reading a lot of those lately back to back. And then I've got my queer list, which let's get back to that. Gravity by Tal Bauer. This is a great gay romance. So this one, they're both hockey players. One of them has been in the league for a really long time and the other one is kind of newer, and he thinks that he just likes the other hockey player because he's like a fan, but they end up having a romance. And this one is super emotional, but in the best way. If you love a sports romance, you're gonna love this because you really get enough sports content so it doesn't feel like the hockey was just thrown in as an afterthought, which I personally appreciate in a sports romance. Another gay one is Shutterbug by Barry Scott. In that one, I can't remember if they know each other beforehand. It's been a while since I've read this, so forgive me for not remembering the details of how they meet. But in this one, the male main character, one of them is a photographer, and then the other one, he's kind of this like new, he won this like award, kind of like a Forbes top 100 or like top 30 under 30, something like that, where he is like very tech savvy, and I think he like made an app or something that made him rich, and I'm pretty sure the other character has to photograph him for his photo shoot, and I think that's how they meet. But it definitely evolves from there into a whirlwind of romance. I love Very Scott's writing. We have Top Secret by Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy. I listened to this one on audio, and this is a great like bisexual awakening romance, which is one of my personal favorite tropes. And in this one, the male main character that you meet first, he is on a dating app because he's trying to find someone that he can have a threesome with his girlfriend with, because she has recently said that she'd be into that. So he's looking for a man that they can have a threesome with, and I don't think he's ever considered that he likes men before or anything like that. So like this is totally new for him, but he's trying to like vet somebody before he introduces them to his girlfriend. So he makes an account without his face, and he's just messaging people, and he realizes that the person that he's messaging is like his rival in his fraternity, and they live in the same house. Lots of great tension, lots of great tension. I love this one. Ooh, another author that I think is right up there with Katie Robert, where everything she writes has great queer representation, but I also just like sex positivity, which I really appreciate, is Miss Emily Rath. Pucking Around is the first one in this series, but she has this whole hockey series. She also has a historical romance that has queer representation. She does great poly romances. Honestly, everything you could think of. She is the best at that. And if you follow her on Instagram, she also does great reels with education about politics and policies around things like this, which I think is also important. Yes, reading these books helps, but really it's about real life at the same time. You know, we have to take the time to educate ourselves on what is going on politically and how we can help in our areas or in the country, and things that we need to stand for in this community. So she is the GOAT. I also recently read Like a Love Story by Abdi Nazmian. This one is set in the 80s when there's a lot of like AIDS propaganda, where everything is basically telling you that you shouldn't be gay because you'll die from AIDS. And I can even imagine what it was like to live through that. So this was very eye-opening for me to read personally. It's already hard enough to come out as gay or homosexual or bisexual, whatever it may be. So can you imagine what it must have been like for people in the 80s? Well, this book tells you what it was like. It's a great love story. It does have high school main characters, which I know people don't usually like to read from a younger demographic, but I think that because of the hard-hitting topics in here, I feel like this should be required reading for everybody, because it's just so eye-opening and educational. You can't read books from this list, I feel like, without reading this book. You know what I mean? This book is just so real. Prodigal Son by Sarah Kate is another recent homosexual romance that I loved. You have, this one's very forbidden and taboo as well. You have one male main character who has run away from home, and he has kind of made a new life for himself as a country singer, because he grew up in a household with a pastor father who was very strict and very homophobic. And he ends up getting into a romance with the new pastor who has taken over the church that his dad used to run. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And I think another great thing that Sarah Kate did in this book is she talked about conversion camps, which is unfortunately a horror that still happens to gay people to this day. And I think that she handled that topic very well. This is very, very emotional though, so be sure to check your triggers for sure. This is not a light, fluffy romance by any means. These characters go through some shit. They go through some shit, but it's worth it. Then we have Puck Chase by Gian Wright. This is probably my favorite gay couple that I've read in a really long time. These characters I love with my whole heart. It does have the typical setup of like grumpy sunshine, golden retriever, black cat, okay, but the way that Gian Wright does it is just next level. It's next level, okay? I love it. This is also a hockey romance. They both play on the same team, kind of like a hate to love situation. So good, so good. Role Playing by Kathy Yardley. This is a good one because even though the relationship itself is heterosexual, I think this is a great one because it talks about, well, one, I like how the characters are older, which I appreciate. I think they're like in their 40s. And in this one, the male main character is kind of seeing what it's like to be demisexual and kind of like discovering that now that he's older and like learning more about you know, his preferences and things like that, which again, I feel like demisexuals are very underrepresented in the romance community, and asexuals as well. I don't even think I have anything that's ace on this list. I don't think I've read anything recently, no. So I like the exposure for that side of Pride as well, and this is a great one for that. I feel like the other ones I'm going to recommend are already things I've already told you. Most of them are gay or poly. Those are like the bread and butter. We have Heat Stroke by Tessa Bailey. That one has a brainy professor guy with like the meathead lifeguard guy. So cute. It's so cute. Sierra Simone also has a great romance called Saint. This one has a monk in it, so if you're open to like religion being in your books, I think you should check this one out for sure. The Saint View Psycho series by Elle Thorpe also has great representation, but that one's more for my dark romance girlies. Okay, one of them is a serial killer. It has to do with like a prison. This one's crazy. This one's crazy, but it's a fun time. This one is a Why Choose. There's 3 men and 1 woman. And then also an honorable mention for Jane Diamond with Dirty Like Dylan. This one has Dylan and Ash and a female character that I can't remember her name right now. But this is a rock star romance, so you have 2 characters from different bands in the rock world, and then you have a female character who's a photographer. And they kind of share her, but Ash and Dylan also have like their own little thing going on. And this one's very emotional, kind of gives love triangle, throuple vibes if you're into that, but I think it's fun. That's everything. That was a lot of recommendations, rapid fire, but I wanted to give you as many recs as I could. As a reminder, I know Pride Month is over, but we should be reading these books all year round because everyone deserves to be represented in the romance community. So be sure to give this video a like, leave a comment down below giving me one of your favorite queer romance recommendations, and be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can see my future videos. And I'll see you next time. Bye guys.